Mechanized infantry.
Hey guys, it's Null Assassin here. As always, thanks for stopping by the channel. I very much appreciate it. This is my second video in the mini-series of beta gameplays from Black Ops 3, where I'm sharing some thoughts, wants, likes, dislikes, etc. from the beta that we played about 2 months ago. And I know, don't get too upset. I know the beta's over and the full release is just about a week away. But the beta created a lot of interesting thoughts and excitement for the release that I wanted to talk about before the game actually came out. There should be a few more videos coming behind this one related to the beta and my thoughts, as I want to get those posted here while we still have another week or so to go. Hopefully these videos you'll enjoy, some of the gameplays here, just to get us ready for next week. In the background is a game of domination on the map Combine, which was very competitive and had a great ebb and flow throughout it. I had something like 40 or 50 kills, but with this map and this game type, the objective is definitely important through the Dom. I think I started off using the MA, which is an absolute tank, and I heard from some others that the gun really did not change that much in the final build, or at least the build that was just at the Paris Games event. I'm actually kind of happy they did not make that much, if any, adjustments to this gun. After playing with many of the other guns, the M8 was pretty powerful, but it's still kind of balanced in comparison to some of the more fast-firing weapons and a lot of the SMGs. You can't run and gun really with an M8. It's more of a finesse gun and requires a good shot, which you'll see I failed at a time or two during this game. I eventually switched over to the ARK, which was without a doubt my favorite gun during the beta. I changed up my setup quite a few times on it, and I think I found a setup I will probably be using on day one. One of the things I was really concerned with that really didn't turn out to be that much of an issue was how they were going to build iron sights into this game. Black Ops has always been, Treyarch has always been really good about creating great iron sights, so I was really interested to see what kind of iron sights they built into a lot of their guns, and it turned out really well. It actually ends up saving you from having to use an attachment slot where you would typically put a red dot on there, so that was definitely a bonus. For this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 4 maps that we played and some of the maps we've seen from the other game events so far. I could say without a doubt Combine was my favorite map by far, as I'm sure many of you probably are thinking the same. It's a classic 3-lane Treyarch design, but only difference is one side has lane built into it where the wall is utilized for some wall running. And I'll talk about more about the wall running in one of the upcoming videos in this mini-series. I felt Combine flowed really well from the gameplay perspective, but did seem to get a little pinched at times, and spawn traps happened on an occasion or two. Luckily, though, it was confirmed on one of the Black Ops Friday events where Vaughn was given a bunch of answers that Treyarch has put some new coding into the game where it's going to recognize if spawn traps are currently in progress or are very close to being in progress, and it's going to allow the map to flip spawns to the other side to break it all apart. So I think that is a phenomenal coding choice that they made. I hate when things get spawn trapped because people just start leaving the game and whatever, but if the system allows the spawn trap to be broken up, through good game logic, terrific. I definitely am 100% on board with that. I think 6v6 is the max amount of people that would fit in this map. I don't think it would work good with ground war. It would just be straight chaos. It's way too small to be a ground war type map. Confident that this one will be a prime candidate for many of the competitive games and league play. I think the wall running capability will really enhance the movement of this map. Should make for some interesting returns for like CTF and uplink, maybe Dom as well if they happen to put Dom in there. But second up was Evac. Evac was, I'd say, my least favorite map of the beta. I thought the map was really built well, but when I say it was a least favorite, I don't mean it sucked by any means. I just ranked it number 4 out of the 4 that we were given. So this one felt like it had a little less flow to it. It was more spaced out than Combine, so it had that bigger feel with it, but it just seemed like you were either standing on the platform on the one side looking at the second story windows, or you were down the other flank with the little underground area where the Dom flag usually is, waiting for people to come around that corner from where the main spawn point is. It just felt a little forced to one side or the other, and not much engagement happened in the center of the map. However, I do think the map would be pretty interesting for games like Hardpoint and CTF because of the size of it, and there's a ton of places where you can change direction, hallways to use, wall runs that you could make very competitive use out of. It was also dressed in very dark colors on this map, which usually dark color maps lead to camping, which is definitely not a favorite thing of mine by any means. If you watch any of my previous videos, I hate campers, but I think that just brighter maps are more my cup of tea. So we'll just see how this one plays out. The third map, and probably my second favorite, was Stronghold, the snow map. I love this map. Classic 3-lane design, but broken up with a main clash point in the center. We all knew that Treyarch had to give us one snow map when the game came out, so I'm really glad they did it on the beta so people could play it a lot and get interested in it or get the feel of it, so it wasn't something you would just get and hate when the game came out and try to avoid. Snow maps that really haven't been that much success in other COD titles, but I think this one did pretty well overall. The only downside to this one I felt is a little camperish, you know, with the upstairs windows looking over the B-Dom flag and so forth. But the good thing is that you know with this map where the camper spots usually are, so you'll always be checking those spots, so it's really not going to play an advantage to somebody who's just sitting there. The wall running out the back windows over the garage is a great alternate way to get around the map, and the multi-level house also feels like a great advantage when it's used right. I thought this map had good logic that was built in because spawns flipped pretty well, and it never felt like my team was getting pinched at any time. Anytime there's 3 or 4 routes out of your, end spawn, usually is a good sign that the map is really well built. I think it'll be great for competitive games like Dom, Search and Destroy, Capture the Flag, and definitely Hardpoint. Bigger maps usually favor Hardpoint pretty well because it just spaces everybody out. Lots of different zones, lots of different hills, so it should be pretty interesting. And then finally from the beta we had Hunted, which I think was the most shown map via images and videos before the beta actually came out itself. I really liked this map. I think it was well spread out, it flowed great, had multiple lanes, but has a ton of wall running and water swim spots. I also played this map most on Dom. I realized that the wall running up near the waterfall was going to be key, especially if you're patrolling 2 flags as a team. And I think that lower area where the B flag on Dom at the base of the waterfall will obviously have a lot of action since there is a window overlooking it and it's a major flank route that runs through there. I do like that you can wall run to the side of the bridge so that you do not have to run right on the main path, which is pretty interesting for that new wall run feature. I definitely think that'll lead to some interesting games of uplink and capture the flag if this map is used. The underwater routes is also, very new to Black Ops, and I think it's definitely something interesting. It's a little, might be a little tricky to understand people swimming down there to get from one side of the map, especially in a competitive gameplay. It'll just be another place you have to check, but we'll see how it plays out. And one of the videos coming up in this mini-series should have a good gameplay from that map. Actually, I say it was the first one in this mini-series. I'll have some other ones for you guys, but feel free to check that one out. It should be already posted. As far as the other maps we have not seen major full gameplays on, I obviously can't tell you about flow and gameplay until I actually get in there and try them out. Redwood looked really great. That's the one with the forest and the bridge location. Metro, Havoc, Exodus, and Breach, I think, were the ones that they all debuted at the Paris games, and I've only seen limited details on those, maybe just a few seconds of the clips from each of those, so I can't really say too much, but they all look pretty good, but that's to be seen until we get in there. And of course there's Nuketown, which doesn't need to be explained at all, because if you're a COD fan, you should be able to walk that map in your sleep. Overall though, I think the maps played in the beta are really solid. I think I enjoyed them all. I hated none of them. I did not walk away with that classic, not this map again kind of feeling, so I'm really excited to get back on the maps in about a week or so and get the grind going again. And I think the beta was a huge success for Treyarch, and pretty much gave them 2 months of data to review, kind of tweak things, get everything ready for the full release, so we don't have that kind of that slow period, in some of the past games. I hope that every COD game going forward gives us a beta so we can see what we're in for. I'll have a ton of gameplays going up for the first few days of the game, and many more to come after that, when I start doing reviews of the various guns, the map layouts, the gameplays, etc. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Leave me some comments if you want to. I will definitely reply. Keep checking back, as I'll continue to put things up for you guys. Thanks for stopping by. The gameplay should be wrapping up here pretty shortly, so keep watching to the end to see how things turn out. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.
Friendly care package incoming. Be advised, hostile care package overhead. Hostile UAV above.
Target hostile.
Hater deployed.
Enemy destroyed.
UAV inbound. We lost A.
Detected. EKIA. Internal weapons systems online.
Friendly Hellstorm inbound.
EKIA.
Friendly UAV inbound. Securing Charlie. Losing B. C secure.
Enemy destroyed.
UAV inbound. Friendly HCXD deployed.
Effect EKIA.
Losing C. Friendly Hellstorm inbound. We lost Charlie. Alpha locked down.
Kill.
Losing Bravo. Shut out.
Enforcer slain.
The mission is a bust. Bring it next time.
Power levels nominal. Shutting down.